Tell me when you're ready.
You're on.
And I'm going to cut and paste it anyway. So
Okay, you're going.
Benjamin Meredith, I'm doing a kitchen inspection at this time. Alright, so I've got a couple of things going on here that I wanted to explain. Well, first of all, I always like to turn everything on so we can test to make sure that it's functioning. Usually I would turn the vent on, but that would be too loud, so you wouldn't be able to hear me talk. So, a couple of things though to mention. This oven range does not have an anti-tilt device, which means if there are children living in the household, that if they get up on top of this, they're going to easily pull this thing forward. So there's a little bracket that goes at the bottom of the oven that when you push it in, that bracket catches the bottom lid and prevents it from being able to be tipped over. But you can actually pull it forward if you need to get behind. There's actually a warning here at the front of the oven that talks all about that tipping issue. So anyway, I'm going to leave this on and make sure that all the elements are functioning. Actually, these four were already on, so I'm going to turn those off. When you have a ceramic top, which this one is, you got to make sure that when you clean it, that you're not using anything too terribly abrasive. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to start scratching the imprinted surface off. So you want to make sure that you actually clean this with they actually have on the market cleaners specifically for ceramic tops. And you can actually also use a razor blade, similar to when you're taking paint off of a window pane. All right, a couple other things that we found is that when you turn your faucet on here in the kitchen, that it actually leaks back here when you operate this, the valve stem here. And typically the reason for that is because of the quality of the inner workings are more than likely plastic. So you can either rebuild these or just replace the faucet when they start to leak. The other thing that we noted on this kitchen faucet area here is that we actually have a hole. This is the ice maker water line here, and it actually has a hole right there. So we already tested that, and we're in the presently wiping that up. Another issue that we will often talk about. This is the drain line coming from the dishwasher, and the drain line right here, it has no what's called an air gap. And we used to have these little devices that would sit on top of the sink, and they would provide an air gap. And that air gap, what it was designed to do was if the sink ever got clogged, then the water would not be able to run down and inside of the dishwasher. So what we've been recommending that folks do now is that this line right here actually be looped up in this fashion up here, looped up in such a way that it's so that it will not drain back to the dishwasher. And so that would be a recommendation in this particular situation, that they loop it up high, which means this probably needs to be extended so that it's longer. Okay, so those are the two issues underneath here, and obviously that needs to be repaired. It has now been turned off. The ice maker line has been turned off. Alright, so back to the oven. The bottom element is obviously working, so we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn on the broil section and make sure that that element is functioning. It looks like our cabinets and countertops look in pretty good shape. They've been installed. They look pretty good. One of the things that I always recommend to folks is that they do not use drywall screws to install cabinetry. They use drywall screws. It's just not recommended by the manufacturer of the cabinetry. Oh yeah, one other thing that I noticed is that this is my infrared camera. And the infrared camera is very useful during an inspection because it can tell me if there's missing insulation in the walls. It can also help me identify leaks that happen to be occurring And I think we actually have one here, which is on the ceiling. You can see a little tiny water spot on the ceiling there. And if you look through the infrared camera here, you can actually see a purple line, and the purple means that it's a colder area, which typically means that in this kind of situation, we probably have a minor water leak upstairs in the bathroom, which of course we already saw the water leak, so this is not all that surprising. So we should be able to fix the water leak in the bathroom and this not be an issue any longer. And with that little amount of water that's up there, it's not considered moisture damage, but if it would continue, obviously it would be moisture damage. So, pretty good idea to get that fixed. All right. So, we're now testing all the items in the kitchen, making sure that we have all the elements are now working, so I can turn this off for good. We've already tested the microwave, we've already tested the sink, we've already tested the refrigerator. Really all we're doing here is we're making sure that it's cooling to capacity. The ice maker and the water line are obviously not working right now because, well, we turned the water off because of the leak. Okay, so that is the end of the kitchen inspection. Thank you very much.